All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Stock Analysis Friday. My name is Ben McDowell with TradersCoach.com. And today we're going to obviously look at stocks that you want to look at. And if you have some, go ahead and type them in caps, the symbols in caps in the comments area, and do about 3 at a time, okay, just to keep the flow going. But anyway, first of all, happy holidays to everybody. Hope you're going to have a great holiday season and a safe one as well. All right, let me go through some of the quick administrational items, and then we'll jump in and get going here. First thing we got to do is, of course, let you know that there are risks in trading or investing in the financial markets. I think we kind of all realize that, but in any case, we have to let you know again. And realize that you always want to trade with risk capital, money you can afford to put into the markets, and always know your risk on each and every trade or investment, because there is always a possible downside. So definitely know how to work on that. Also, to run any of the picks that we like that you may want to take today past your financial advisor or whoever manages your money. Just be sure they are suitable for you. You know, I don't know your personal situation, but let's only hope they do, right? So make sure you run it by them first. All right, so a couple more little things to talk about here. You know, if you have any desire to day trade, and day trading is tremendous, but you have to approach it in the correct way. And I really recommend anybody new out there or experienced, prop firms now have really come to age. They are paying people out. There's a lot of people making a lot of money. I have several prop accounts myself. It's a great way to get involved, kind of like using other people's money, right? That's what you're doing. So, you know, you don't have to risk your own capital. There are some fees involved in that. I've got a coupon here that will save you quite a bit on some of the fees. I'll put that in the chat area. So just click on that or locate it and copy and paste it into your browser. But you should open up one of these things if you have the time or you're interested or you're looking for additional work, because, you know, you can trade the overseas markets at night. So even if you have a day job during the day, you can come home and work on it at night. So it's a great little thing. You know, you can put a couple hours in using very short time frames. That's enough time to do something with. So there's a lot of possibilities with this. And this is a great way to get involved in it at a low cost. So I'm really kind of liking that, if you know what I mean. All right, so that is Apex. My new book, The Art of Trading, is now finished, and 608 pages. It's the book on the far right, being shipped this month, early January, I guess, right around now. And it's all done. It's great. All right, so definitely check that out. There's going to be an accompanying website along with the book. So there'll be some material that you can get online as well. So anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing how everybody's going to like that. I think it's probably the best book I've written, certainly one of the longest. So I'm pretty excited about that. We got a couple books on money management out there if you need help with that, and other forms of technical analysis like Elliott Wave and so forth. All right, now when we look at stocks today, we're going to be using my system called the ART trading system. ART stands for Applied Reality Trading. And we have indicators with that. We also have scanners, and we also, of course, have risk control software, so you can check that out. And then a YouTube presentation would not be complete without saying give us a like, subscribe, and share. Everybody says that, so we'll throw that in there for ours as well. All right, so let me come out of here. I quickly, before we get into the actual markets, stocks, individual stocks today, just want to give you a quick overview of the markets. And this includes, I'm not going to go into each individual overall index, but I'll just talk a little bit about the Dow. And this kind of is also, we're seeing the same types of things in the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. If you're interested in a complete analysis, I'll put a link in the recording below, or you can just go to our website under subscriptions. And we have a market analysis subscription there that is basically very affordable. But we break down all the different markets in that. And so if you're kind of concerned about, hey, where's the Dow going? Where's the NASDAQ going? We can help you with that. So just focus for a minute on the center charts. I've got 3 charts up here in the NinjaTrader platform, all with our software loaded, short-term, intermediate chart, and long-term, and there are different time frames to make adjustments for these types of views. But what I want to focus on here is that there is a Fibonacci retracement area that the market has moved down into on that center chart. So that's right here where I put that check mark. And this area here, we should see some stability. And the area ranges from pretty much where prices are now all the way down to another 40,522. So really between 42,261 down to 40,522, give or take a few points, right? So we're looking for the market to do a normal retracement. That would be a normal retracement into that area. And then we should expect some type of rebound. If we don't get it, then this sell-off is going to be something more major. If it is, a jittery sell-off due to what the Fed said about interest rates may not be quite as aggressive as everybody thought next year, which is kind of what sold this off, or whatever, it should subside in that boxed area. And again, if it doesn't and it keeps on going, then we may be starting the anticipated, what would I say? I guess a bearish market or a bear market. I don't think that's going to happen. And there's a couple reasons why I'm saying that. If we go to this chart on the far right, the weekly chart, you can see we have a substantial momentum still in the market, even though we're pulling back. And on the weekly chart, this pullback has not been dramatic enough to be worried about yet. Okay, just to say that. We still are above the major trend line on the weekly chart. So we'll see what happens. So I guess the market's a little too early for you to start to get overly concerned about it. Yes, it was a quick and deep sell-off, certainly a warning of how fast the market can move at times, right? All right, but for right now, let's see what unfolds over the next week into the new year and see if we get a rebound on this. And I think probably we could see more highs on this once this settles down a little bit, but we will keep an eye on it. We still have a red PTF. This is one of our indicators here that are indicating more lows. So I don't think the correction or the pullback is over yet. So we may get a rebound from here. We're seeing a little reboundish today, a little bit. So we may get a teeny bit of a rebound today before more follow through into that boxed area. All right, so I just want to cover that, all right, and kind of mention that as a whole. I'm going to share a couple of things here with you before we go into individual stocks. There's one ETF, called UNG, and this is natural gas. And we've been kind of watching this because obviously, it's at a bottom. We're close to it. We think it may be at a bottom and now getting ready to move up. And the reason I'm bringing this one up is that even if this does not start a new major trend, the correction or bounce off this bottom is substantial enough for you to probably make 100% return on your money. And so I wanted to share this with everybody. This is the ETF UNG. Let's open up this daily chart for just a moment and kind of bring this into perspective. So on UNG, notice that I've got a couple lines drawn here. This bottom line represents the bottom. I'll put B. And this upper line represents a level that we previous high. I'll just put high. That we want to see broken out. And I think we're going to break out of it. I think we're very close to it. We just got a pyramid broken here. So I'm liking this. The stop either needs to go under this pyramid or probably under the very bottom. If you can do that, it's only another point down. But I'm liking it. This is one that I'm going to put on the watch list for you guys, or not the watch list. This is one I'm going to recommend to you. Our indicators at the bottom, we got bullishness now in the momentum and bullishness also in the PTF. So I'm thinking that we may have a bottom in here. All right. If we don't, okay, we'll get stopped out and try again. But I think it's worth the risk taking. Now, the only caveat with that is we do have a red PTF over here. So we may break out here a little bit, pull back, but this particular low here, I'm certainly thinking will hold. You may want to put it back here. I'm trying to think out where this is. This is at 13.5. Oh, yeah, you're going to have to put it. Don't use the pyramid. You're going to have to put it back here. But I got a feeling this could change to green, okay? So let's put that, actually, let's put that on a watch list, not a recommended one for today until that red PTF on the 60-minute chart turns green. I didn't see that at first. All right, and then on the weekly chart, you know, we got bullish divergence in the owl. So that could be certainly a possibility. But let's keep an eye on that, and I'll share that with you next week as well. The other one that so many people are in is Tesla these days. And Tesla, you know, has run up and pulled back, and we're kind of watching that weekly chart. Let's open that weekly chart for a moment and look at this price bar sitting right in the channel, okay? So the channel on Tesla was reached. I know many people got in when we recommended it back around the 200 mark, the 250. But now it's sitting at 439. We got a very bearish candle that will end this week. And so you may want to put a stop to take profits right under this week's low, okay? Because there's a chance we could pull back and go back into the 300s on that. Now, we still have a green PTF, so we're watching that. That's down here. So any pullback, according to the indicators down here, is going to be profit taking, and we should see more highs. So if you don't want to mess with getting out, just stay with it. However, with that said, be prepared for a dramatic pullback on Tesla before it's all over. All right, let's keep going here. TK, let me take a look at now some that you want to look at. And Stuart stepping up to the plate here with TK. So let's see what TK is all about. He's watching this. He's saying it might be too early. Shipping companies. Okay, so let's see. Well, certainly has sold off to give us an opportunity, right? Let's open up that weekly chart and see what's going on with this. All right, so this once was around 70 bucks back in quite a ways ago, 2014, and it's since then fairly flatlined except for moving down here. Okay, so if we look around here, let's first go ahead and mark the bottom of this. So that's right about here. So we had a nice move off the bottom. This is kind of what I'm hoping UNG will eventually do. But in any case, it moved off the bottom. We still got a trend down. So Stuart, let me just mark this here. All right. So very simply, if you want to know if something is in a downtrend or uptrend, just draw a trend line. Okay. Whatever trend line works, that's what you're in right now. All right. So that's a downtrend for sure. All right. Notice that the daily chart with all the bearish pyramids, these pyramids are our software giving us entries and trailing stops and exits above them. And they take into account the fractal nature of the market. So it's kind of a breakout system. And the idea is we've got a short stop, short still in place with a stop right about here. We still got negativity here. We're seeing a little bit of bullishness here. I think it's too early, Stuart. I'm thinking that my concern here is that the downtrend, and again, just draw trend lines, is not quite done yet. We got a couple trend lines here. Well, that's the major one right there. So I'd like to see some type of breakout from this move down, okay? So just keep that one in reserve, so to speak, or on your watch list, and you can come back to it. ST and G. All right, let's see how this one's doing. All right, again, all three time frames are in a downtrend. I mean, you can look at the pyramids and see that as well. Those are those triangles. But if we take, again, a trend line, simple trend line, all right, we're kind of like, well, that's a short-term one, and we got a longer-term one. But I would say the longer-term one over here, you're probably looking at something more like that. And that's probably mimicking the longer-term trend line right there. So if we look at that, we're starting to break a little bit, but not enough. And we've got a red PTF and a very deep owl on the weekly. So no go on that one as well. Okay. No go on that one. All right. Anybody else out there? Okay. Let's see if we have anybody else out there We're going to be here next Friday as well. So that'll be the 27th, I believe, of December, a couple days after the Christmas day. So, you know, if you're hanging around and you want to bring some stocks and you're thinking about looking at some things for either maybe possibly even tax purposes. Some people do a redistribution of their portfolio at the end of the year. So you can bring some stocks here and see which ones make sense to possibly sell versus hold, that type of thing. All right. So the other one I think I showed you Tesla, UNG, we're going to keep a close eye on. The next one is TLT, and that's bonds. Okay. So the bond market, this is another one we're kind of keeping an eye on. It's not quite ready yet. We've got some bearishness still left in there. But on the bond market here, all right, we're looking for hopefully a bottom sometime at this. We certainly don't think it's in quite yet. I think it's a little premature to go long on TLT, which is the ETF for bonds. So we're kind of watching that, but I know a lot of people like TLT and are thinking about going into that. So I certainly wanted to keep that, bring that to your attention there. All right, well, we're going to make a short session today. I think that's it for today. So we're going to be back next week. You know, the holiday season, people are, you know, traveling and busy or whatnot. We will post this recording up a little bit later today, but you guys have a great holiday week and Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. Just have a wonderful time with your families. And as Gene says, Merry Christmas to everyone. All right, so thanks for tuning in, everybody. And I'll put a little music on. We certainly can go over and see what the live markets are doing now. In the NASDAQ, this is the 1 minute on gold, actually. So let's just go over here. And then we can go over here and take a look at what the NASDAQ's doing. So NASDAQ seems like it's moving back to the upside pretty aggressively there. All right, pyramid trading points have you long. So it's been a pretty good morning if you've been trading with the pyramids. So awesome. Okay, so have a good one, and we will see you all next week.